والسلام على رسول الله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. Inshallah ta'ala, again we are still making dua for our brothers and sisters in Palestine. May Allah be with them and protect them, give them aid in this difficult time. And the Iqamah time starting today, inshallah, Asr will be at 6:30 and Isha will be at 9:45. So it's a little later than yesterday. And again, we are making dua for those who are sick and not feeling well. May Allah give them all shifa. We'll continue our talk about Surah Yaseen, inshallah. And yesterday we got to a point when those people were told, give charity from what Allah has given you. And we said before, everything we have, our own existence, is thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our parents did not make us, and those who claim that you say you came from your parents, you tell them, where did your parents come from? Their parents, and you keep asking the question, you go back to Adam alayhi salam, and then you ask the question, where did Adam alayhi salam come from? So in the end, we have to recognize the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and that He created us from sperm, as He says. So we need to remember that everything we have is thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there are many benefits, by the way, for giving charity. And of course, aside from that, you get barakah in your income. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala purifies. That's why it's called zakah. Zakah means purification. خُذْ مِنْ أَمْوَالِهِمْ صَدَقَةً تُطَهِّرُهُمْ وَتُزَكِّيهِمْ بِهَا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this ayah in Surah At-Tawbah, very interesting. Allah telling the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, take from their money. Normally, you would expect Allah to tell the companions, give the Prophet your money as sadaqah or zakah. But Allah telling the Prophet ﷺ, take from their money. Don't wait for them, because if they know what's good for them, they will not wait. For zakah and sadaqah, that increases your money, it does not decrease it, and it gives you barakah in what you have, no doubt. So whenever they are told, give people from what Allah has given you, we're talking about the benefits of zakah. You know, normally, people who are poor and do not have much, it's natural for them to feel jealous of those who are rich. And this question, you know, comes to the mind that why do they have stuff and I don't, for example, especially when the rich, you know, drives an expensive car and buys expensive stuff, and somebody who is probably not that much will be asking the question, why can't I buy what he, you know, why can't I have what he has? So when that rich gives charity to the poor gets happy, and when the rich's wealth increases, the poor's happiness increases, because the amount of money he will get will be more, right? Because it's a percentage. Zakah is 2.5%, and it depends on the situation, but that means instead of getting more jealous when that rich become more richer or more wealthier, the poor will say, Alhamdulillah, that means I'm getting more money. So instead of, subhanAllah, how Islam is beautiful, it replaces jealousy with happiness. I want the rich to be more, they have more money, because this way I get more money from them. Imagine if that rich does not give the charity, does not give the zakah. Jealousy will become hatred, and possible even a crime later on. So the zakah protects the rich. The other thing about zakah, nobody can guarantee that they will be always rich, right? We always heard stories about people who were millionaires and the next day they had nothing. There was a story about this guy. He became a CEO of one company, I don't remember which company, and they show his house. He bought a house for a couple $1 million. Beautiful house, all glass everywhere, and on the top of a mountain and something. Next day, that company went bankrupt and he lost everything. He became a pizza delivery person, you know, with all due respect to all jobs, but pizza delivery is probably one of the minimum wages. So overnight, from millionaire to nothing. So when you give zakah, then you know that others will give you when you need it. This is again another nice way to look at the beauty of zakah and sadaqah. When you give people when you can, people will give you when you can't or when you need it. And this protects, yani this is a social security by itself. This system, as long as I'm giving zakat to the poor, that poor can become rich one day. And God forbid, we don't want to be yani poor, but if this happens, that rich person will give me, just like I gave him before. So this way, the money keeps cycling without just keeping to yourself. Um, it's a funny story. Actually, it's not really funny. It's sad. One guy, extremely wealthy, and he was one of those people who do not like banks. He used to turn his money into cash, and he had a big safe in his house, like a whole room, which is a safe. He puts his cash in it, and every now and then he likes to go inside that room and count his money for fun. And a lot of money, the whole room, imagine. And the safe only can be opened from outside, obviously. So one day he went inside and looks like the door closed by mistake and he got stuck. All this money cannot save his life. And he died. Imagine, he died in the room with the money. All this money, you can't drink it or eat it. At the end of the day, it's a piece of paper. So, of course, unless you have 25 cents, then that's not a piece of paper. But imagine 25 cents, $1 million, how much would that be? That's a lot of coins. Anyway, the point is, and that's why Harun al-Rashid, rahimahullah, he was talking to this Arabi. He was trying to show off, look at my kingdom, big kingdom. At the time of Harun al-Rashid, the Muslim kingdom was huge. They say almost half of the earth or even more. So Harun al-Rashid asked him, what do you think of my empire, my kingdom? He said, really nothing much. And then he asked him, he said, if you were in the desert and you have no water, how much will you give for a cup of water? He said, half of my kingdom. He said, and how much will you give to let this water out of your body after you drink it? He said, the other half. He said, in your kingdom equals a drink of water and going to the bathroom. True or not? This is the way it is. Yani this is, of course, we don't look at life this way. We love money and everything. We love Lamborghinis. I do. This is yani zinat al-hayati dunya. But at the end of the day, if you remember, if you think about it, money is a piece of paper with a picture of somebody on it. They did have a picture, right? I don't remember. I haven't checked. So the bottom line is a cup of water when you need it. Even if you have millions of dollars, you can't turn them into water. And being able to go to the bathroom without problem, this is a big ni'mah people do not really realize. Yani how may Allah save us again from all diseases and all sicknesses. But this is a big ni'mah people do not realize. May Allah always keep us healthy, inshallah. So today we only talked about the benefits of Sadaqah and Zakah. And of course there is benefits for giving people gifts too. Like if somebody wants to buy a Lamborghini, you can give him a gift. That's a good thing too, inshallah. If you have too much money, inshallah ta'ala. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.